It is good to be back, Lawrence.
Yes, it is. What's going on, Greg?
Nothing much. Welcome, everybody, to the Slackercast. We have finally returned. And today we got a movie we want to talk about, Lawrence.
Yes, sir, we do. The Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. We just seen it. We know where Johnny come lately. This will be spoiler extravaganza. Since we're late, people should already have seen it.
Definitely.
We're not going to hold anything back on this one.
Well, before that, though, where the hell you been the past 4 years?
Well, I guess I've been captured, man. I don't know if you see my background. Sorry about the shit quality lighting. I don't know what's going on. It looks like I'm being held hostage in like Afghanistan or something. Like I feel like I should be like, I don't know, like there should be a reward given to rescue me or something. I don't know what's going on. Sorry about that.
Reward.
Yeah, but what's going on with you, man? Me, honestly, I've been the same. Just been working. Just been kind of laying low. Tried 2 jobs for a little while, and that's kind of what messed up the show originally. But we're back now.
Boy, did it.
Yeah, I just had to quit my job, I guess. So that was a solution.
I mean, stimulus, bruh.
Right?
But no, man. Well, I had a kid, so that kind of tied me up for the past 4 years.
Well, that was it.
That's it.
That's all you did.
That's it. That's all I did.
Well, I can tell you had a kid
else.
because you had your background, man. I see baby dolls, and either you're like a serial killer or you had like a kid. That's the only explanation.
Oh, no. All that stuff is mine.
All that stuff is yours. A little baby doll back there. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah,
baby
exactly.
pictures and yeah, we got to run in joke. We got to get better backgrounds, man. How do we do that? I don't know. Where should we start? I don't know.
We'll work on that. Right now, I'm trying to build a shrine to my kid. That's with all the pictures. But do you want to jump right into this movie? We have a lot to talk about.
Man, we do. And now a lot of time to do it. And saying that it didn't exist, and there were guys saying it did exist, and there were people saying it. Josh Whedon was holding it hostage, and there was attempts to sabotage. Like a movie about the making of this movie would be like probably better than the actual movie, which is funny because there was so much that went on. Zack Snyder went missing, and guys came in to replace him, and all kinds of shenanigans. We finally got it now. It was real the whole time, the Zack Snyder cut, and it was 4 hours long, apparently. I didn't know that until we watched it. What'd you think of that?
So,
man? Go ahead and tell me your thoughts on it.
You saw the original, correct?
I saw the original in theaters, correct.
Interesting. I didn't see it because after Batman v Superman, I pretty much gave up on DC.
Oh, Lord have mercy. No, that was the beginning. That was like the invitation that DCEU was going to suck. That was like the opening shot. You didn't get to see Suicide Squad. You didn't get to descend into the madness that was. What else did they do after that, honestly? What has actually been consisting of the DCEU? I know that there was that, the Suicide Squad after the fact, and then there was...
I saw that. I did see that.
You had Wonder Woman and you had Aquaman, which both were pretty decent. Other than that, there was Shazam. There was the madness that was Shazam, the Nickelodeon movie made.
Everybody loved that, and I thought it sucked.
That movie was well for DC. If a movie is okay, it's great. Like that's the thing. That's like the bar is set so low, which was probably smart that they don't have to make a great film, just a good film to kind of be like, oh, that was great, man. It was, that was something, wasn't it? But honestly, their best movies to date are Aquaman and Wonder Woman. That's it.
Was Wonder Woman a good movie, though?
Getting into ad so it gets to be great. That's DC standards. If it's not bad, then it is great. Yeah. Marvel is so high. I'm saying, like, if you compare, hard to compare, but going into this movie though, now that you've seen Batman v Superman, right? And you said that was bad. Well, Justice League was worse. if you can imagine that, the original
here's
version,
the
not
thing.
the Zack Snyder cut.
I kind of went on like a hiatus of like not watching any superhero movies because I was just tired of them. I think the market is saturated with them, and I just think most of them aren't any good anymore, and they just don't hold my interest like they used to. However, I will say, coming back and watching this, it did hold my interest. I'll say that much.
Okay, starting off good. And this is the Zack Snyder's cut, Batman v Superman, right? You're talking about.
Yes, correct.
All right. Just making sure. All right.
Wait, would you like to watch the trailer before we get into this? Just a warm up. Let's do that. Let's watch the trailer. Here we go. Blow this up. Huh.
Well, you're watching it by yourself?
Is it not showing?
No. That's the thing. I'm sitting here
sorry.
like, okay.
Here we go. Chrome tab. Nah, I got this.
Sorry, guys.
Hey.
We started off in a car with just mics, so.
That's exactly right. I kind of miss that, honestly.
I do too.
All right, here we go. Zack Snyder's Justice League trailer coming up. Share audio.
There we go. I hear you snickering, so something's going on in that mind of yours.
I'm laughing. The trailer's just the way it starts off.
It starts off letting you know it's Zack Snyder's work.
The god is dead.
With the music. It's so dramatic.
I had a dream.
I had a dream too.
Almost like a premonition. Like there's an attack coming.
My lord, this world will fall.
I need warriors. I'm building an alliance to defend ourselves.
How do you know your team's strong enough? If you can't bring down the charging bull, then don't wave the red cape at
it. You were sent here for a reason. And even if it takes you the rest of your life, find out what that reason is.
They said the age of heroes would never come again.
Where's the Green Lantern?
Great question. It's about the only question I had watching this trailer.
It has to.
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
We live in a society where honor is a distant memory. Isn't that right? Batman.
So they showed the Joker in the trailer.
Come on, man. All right, now we got some stuff to discuss. Now we've seen it. Now that the audience has seen it.
Yes, indeed.
Let's go ahead and jump in on this, man. Right away, there's something with the Zack Snyder touch that just can't help itself. It's like that opening scene where Superman's screaming. Like, that is not my Superman. That is not your Superman. But that is someone's Superman. It's his fan fiction version of it. And it's like, for whatever reason, Superman has to be seen with either just in pain or angry. And I'm like, that is not really the Superman that I grew up with. It's different, but moving on from that, the trailer itself looks amazing, honestly. Like if you would have told me that was going to be the Justice League movie and I hadn't seen it originally, I would have said this is going to be a run for its money. This is going to be like one of the best Superman movies probably ever made, just based off the trailer. It's that good, except for the ending with that cameo with Joker, which we'll get into.
But where's the Green Lantern?
Well, you gotta. I don't know. We gotta ease it on there, man. I don't know. I really don't know why Cyborg's in there, but we don't have Green Lantern. I would have traded him out like very easily for a John Stewart Green Lantern or Hal Jordan or any Green Lantern for that matter.
As soon as I finished this movie, the very second I finished it, the first thing I Googled afterwards, I was like, why wasn't the Green Lantern in this movie?
That's all. Yeah, it's pretty distracting, man. Why? I don't know why he wasn't in there either. This is the roster that they've gone with post the New 52, I believe. If you're following comics, for whatever reason, they've wanted Cyborg to go from the Teen Titans to the Justice League. That was like he got upgraded. I don't know why Beast Boy didn't or any of the other ones, why he was chosen.
Well, I read originally that Snyder wanted the Green Lantern in. That was actually the reason he almost quit in the beginning and Whedon took over, was because like he's like, look, I want the Green Lantern in. They're like, no, we're taking him out. And that's the reason he kind of stepped away.
What that tells me is that they've probably got bigger plans for Green Lantern. I heard there's an HBO series they're working on specifically for the Green Lanterns. Now I did hear that also. They did tease a Green Lantern in the battle scenes within the movie, and even in the original in the theater, they showed that too, where the Green Lantern guy was flying around like an ancient Green Lantern. That was pretty cool. When we saw that in theaters, I immediately was like, that's badass. Like that right there. Even in the original horrible version of Justice League in theaters way back when, I saw that and I was like, that's cool. Thumbs up. We liked it. And that checked out. But I think there's just bigger plans. Warner Brothers is weird that way. Like if they're working on a project for a hero, they don't like to share him in the other universe stuff. I don't know why. Like back in Smallville, they never put Batman or mentioned him in Smallville, really, because Batman Begins was going on at the same time. So they don't like to share their projects. I don't know why Warner Brothers is like that.
So, like, basically the gist of this movie was, like, all these guys together aren't enough. They need Superman.
Well, what I took from it was that Superman is gone, so they need at least 6 guys to equal him. Basically, is what I took, or 5 people to equal one Superman. It was why the whole coming together, why Bruce Wayne is so adamant about bringing together the Justice League, is because Superman's absence, which makes sense, because everyone always wondered, if Superman is so OP, why do you need Wonder Woman, Batman, Flash? He has all their powers. Why do you need them? And this kind of explains it in a way that makes sense.
Why? I have a question, though.
Go ahead.
Why is it when he was going around trying to recruit everybody, he didn't use the same voice he used when he had the suit on?
Man, what is up with this Batman voice shenanigans? I don't
trying to form a team. Would you like to join me?
And I don't get that, because in the nightmare sequences, people honestly already know he's Bruce Wayne. Why are you still hiding your voice? The Joker knows who you are. Like Deathstroke knows everyone knows who your name at this point. You don't even need the mask anymore. Why do you still wear that?
I like to talk like this.
I mean, at this point, the world has ended. You no longer need to have a secret identity. You don't have a mansion. You don't have a business. You don't have a wife anymore. You're just one guy.
Even my wife commented and was like, why is he doing that voice?
Oh, man. I don't know. We miss the old days where Kevin Conroy just used the same voice, or Adam West used the same voice. You know what I mean? Like somewhere, someone, ever since that Chris Nolan stuff, people have wanted Batman to sound like he has gravel stuck in his throat, and I don't know why.
He was doing the Queen Amidala voice.
No, don't bring that up now,
Yes,
man.
he was.
We're on a roll. Don't stop it. Don't mess it up with that.
He was doing the same voice.
He was, man. I don't know what started that trend. That Buffalo Bill, just, I don't know what you would call it, man. But
guys, I'm trying to form a team, guys.
that need to mask our voices. Stop it. It's okay, man. We get it. It doesn't make you scarier, honestly. It just doesn't. I mean, Batman shouldn't have to try hard. Batman's already kind of like a mix of charming and mysterious. And like, if you want the best live action Batman voice, go rewatch Batman Forever. Val Kilmer had it down pat.
It was good. I liked it.
It was really good because it had that mix of suave but mysterious, you know what I'm saying, but charming and all that, you know. It wasn't Wolverine Part 2. That's what I always think of when I hear that. You think of like a Punisher Part 2 or a Wolverine knockoff or something. And Batman shouldn't be that. But go ahead, Greg.
So with you seeing the original, what did you like about this movie better?
A lot. The tone and pacing was way better. The first one was so cut and edited and choppy that you didn't really know what you were watching. And that's basically the gist of it. I mean, I actually sat back with relief because I remember saying like, oh, okay, so they're not going to try on this one. This was just going to be flat out bad. Okay, that's a relief. Now I know right away you knew something was wrong. This one fills in so much of what was missing from the originals, like the tone and just the pacing, and like basically you're not lost. And even though they introduce a lot of stuff in it, a lot of stuff, you still feel like you're following all these character story arcs a lot better.
So let me ask you a question. So, like, they did all the intros to each character towards the beginning of the movie, and it took up a big chunk of the movie, probably about an hour and a half's worth. And I enjoyed it. I mean, like, they gave a nice little intro. And they made you care about the characters before they just threw them in the battle.
Yeah, and I want to.
So my question is, was those long arcs in the original cut?
No, dude, that is what was wrong with the original cut, was that they just threw these guys in and you didn't have any of that background stuff. You didn't get any of the sense of these characters and their lives and who they were. Like, especially Cyborg, a lot of his stuff was cut, so you did not care at all about that character, like not one iota. And basically, Zack Snyder's original vision was to have him do a lot more. He was supposed to be like central to the movie, and he was relegated in the original because of all the cuts to like a background kind of supporting role, and it just really, I mean, it really took you out of the movie because you just got all these guys in there, but you don't really invest any time or caring for them or in any way. I ended up liking the characters a lot more because of this.
Yeah, and like I think one of the big complaints I saw about this before I originally saw it was like everyone hated the villain, but like I liked him. I mean,
oh yeah, that's another thing, is like he came across like an actual character. Everyone comes across as a character in this and not like a prop. Like in the original, Steppenwolf was like, who even was this PS2 graphic looking character? And you notice something, why does everybody like that design for villains? Like they did the same design in Thor, like those little metal dudes. He looks like one of them.
Well,
like they
shiny.
were brothers, like just shiny. They remind me of like the Capri Sun Liquid Cool dude. You know, like they used to make them turn silver and they would fly through the air. Anyways, but they would have that. But Steppenwolf was a lot better, and he comes across as a really good villain because you have his backstory. Like, you know that he's on a mission because he's got to redeem himself for some.
That is what
mistake.
I liked that.
You didn't get any of that in the original. Like in the
I
original,
like that they told me why this character was doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, he's a lackey of Thanos who failed him, and he wants to get back in his good graces. Makes sense.
You mean Darkseid, sir?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Darkseid, fucking Thanos. That's
all right. It's okay. One can forgive you for finding too many similarities between the two characters. But with Steppenwolf was a good improvement. Was a major improvement.
Who was that other dude that was beside Darkseid? Like the one
with
that
the
he was
cloak
talking
on?
to? Yeah.
There's a guy named Assad, and they're bringing in a lot of the New Gods world in there, which I loved. Assad is like his right-hand man, kind of his consigliere. He's his counselor. Assad's a really cool character. The New Gods have a great story. They have their own, the Darkseid's apocalypse universe. Like they have their own thing going on. That's like so in depth. It could be its own movie. And that's they did it a little bit more justice in here because they're introducing a lot more of those elements, the parademons, apocalypse, all that, Darkseid. And the originals, you didn't even see Darkseid. I think they glimpsed him, but they kept him off screen. So
I know you don't want me to ask this, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Go ahead.
How did you feel about the Flash?
Man, stop. You see, I don't want to have to do this, man, because we were on such a great roll. I'm talking about all the stuff I liked. Now you want to jump into this.
We have to point out
Honestly,
the good and the bad.
well, he's not. See, the Zack Snyder cut is so good that they took a guy I hated and made me like him. See, because they made him again more. I'm not gonna say witty, but more. You just liked him more. He's more personable, I guess, which is kind of crazy to say, but he was. I don't have an issue with him. I mean, the only thing that's weird is how he runs, but everyone does. Everyone has an issue with that weird how he does. They do the running scenes with him.
Why was he so young?
I don't know, because there's so many different Flashes and so many different versions you can go with, but I really don't know, because the TV Flash is pretty young too, though. So.
Is he?
I don't see why they didn't go with him.
But wasn't the Justice League like cartoon Flash like a man and not a boy?
He was, but that was also a different Flash, though. There's like 4 different Flashes. That was the Wally West Flash. I know it's kind of crazy because there's so many different. You'd have to keep up with all of them, but it's the Barry Allen Flash. You can kind of. He's also a grown man. I would think he'd be older than Wally West.
Here's the issue I had with the Flash. Okay.
Go ahead.
All in all, I like the character.
Okay.
My issue is that if you're trying to show me someone whose ability is speed, stop fucking slowing everything down.
What? It's like, go ahead, because you're onto something.
Because, like, I mean, the slow motion stuff was cool, but they did it way too much. Like, they needed to break it up more. It needed to be like fast, slow motion, fast, slow motion. But they didn't do enough of that. It was mostly all slow motion.
Zack Snyder, once he found out how to slow-mo everything, he fell in love with it and got addicted to it, because this whole movie is in slow motion, which is funny because it'd probably cut the time down if you just made everything normal speed. I don't understand. Like, everyone was in slow motion. Everything was in slow motion. Superman screaming was in slow motion. Victor Stone playing football was in slow motion, and everything had this weird holy soundtrack behind it. Everything was holy somehow.
Even that trailer.
Yeah, I felt like I was in church. This whole movie, I was in church, but in slow motion.
Also, I did like the movie, though. I had fun with it. I was entertained by it.
See, you weren't cursed with seeing the original. If you would have saw the original and saw this, it was like night and day. The only thing that I'm mad that they kept bringing back, because this was a mistake they did in Batman v Superman, they just didn't learn from, was that whole nightmare sequence. Stop with the nightmare sequence. I know that was cool, him in the trench coat, but just stop it, because that's too much for right now. Take your time. Take it easy. You were on to something. Then they end it with the nightmare sequence, which it's too confusing. We haven't reached that point yet. What are you
I'm going to
showing
say
us?
This movie did a good job at making me realize how much I like Superman.
Did it?
Because like when he came back and he was like, couldn't remember him or whatever, which I don't really know why, but for some reason he couldn't. And he just started whooping up on him, because it did a good job of showing exactly how powerful Superman really is compared to everybody else.
I see where you're going. Yeah, I see where you're going. So there's the age-old debate of, can Batman beat Superman, essentially, is what this boils down to. The answer is no. It's not on his best day. Not even with 5 kryptonite rings. Superman would, you know what I'm saying? It's Superman. He's just it's in the name. You know what I'm saying? People make up the excuses. The Batman has time to train, that he can beat anyone. Not Superman. And that is just people's bias, honestly.
I don't think there's much of anyone, period, who can beat Superman.
A case could be made again for Darkseid. Doomsday can, because he did, and
I mean more like hero wise, not so much.
Yeah,
villains.
only villains could probably. I can name a few villains, but not heroes. You're right. No hero can really beat Superman.
Even in most of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, when they did the old JLA / Avengers comics, they used to always have Thor fighting Superman or matching Superman, but I don't think even Thor could beat him.
Not that Thor in that universe.
Yeah, right. But seeing Superman, now that we're on to Superman, What's your thoughts on him as a character, though? Because you said you like to see him because that whole argument that they got to make. But overall, how did you feel?
I honestly have never had a problem with Superman since the first Zack Snyder movie.
Okay.
Does it have problems with the way they did with the story and such like that? Yeah, but the Superman character overall, other than him being reckless, that was the only real fault I give Snyder in regards to Superman, is they make him way too reckless.
Okay. Glad you stated that. Now it's my turn.
Oh shit.
Here we go with this, man. After Man of Steel, I watched the first time. I said, this is different. Something's different about this Superman. I can't put my finger on it. Then I came back and saw it again. I said, okay, he's a lot angry. He's a badass now. That's cool. Then after a couple months went by,
we know people who would love that.
Yeah, we do. A couple months went by though, and I went back, and I'm like, hold on, who did he save in this movie? Like a whole city died. What was saved in this? And he did save a family from getting incinerated, I suppose. But I mean, what difference would it have made at that point? And Superman, you should be happy to see Superman. And I can't say that at this point. I said to myself after Man of Steel, he's going to get better. He's going to increase and become the Superman we know and love. I still didn't see that, because in Batman v Superman, they completely made him like in this battle with Batman for the most part, and they were just angry at one another. So you never really got to see the Superman that's out in the streets shaking hands with cops and being Superman that we know and love. And
I think
we just don't see that Christopher Reeve-ness in him. I just don't see it, man. I see it's too cynical for me.
It's not the same Superman. But how do you like his look overall?
Oh, dude, he looks like Superman. It's like he was like born to be Superman, because he has the chin, the hair. He looks like Superman.
I think that's why I like him so much, is because he looks good.
He looks as much like Superman as Christopher Reeves kind of did. He looks like him. But and I thought like him not having the underwear, like the suit redesign, I would have issues. But no, I actually like the Man of Steel suit a lot. I
have one problem with it.
What's that?
I don't like how there's no coloration in the S.
Yeah, they muted it, didn't they? What? So it should be like bolder, but that wouldn't fit with the Zack Snyder, which is again the whole problem I have is like the dullness of it. I feel like that applies to Wonder Woman, Batman, Aquaman. All of them their colors are muted. Flash.
See, this is the thing. Like with Superman, if they want to go with the Man of Steel look, the cape should be red. The symbol should be a different color, but everything else can be his metallic hard-on thing that he has for, everything metal.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like something with Zack Snyder, man. It's like, I don't know what he's been through or what he's seen in his life, but it was like that in 300. It was like that in Sucker Punch. It was like that in Watchmen. It's like he has to take these things and make them kind of just that pasty, I don't want to say pasty, but that dull kind of just worn out.
He just wants it to be glossy.
No, it's the opposite. No, it's the opposite. He wants it to be like not saturated, but it's like it's lost its glow. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got a dirtiness to it.
So something like faded.
It's like faded. It's like when you leave your clothes out for too long, man. And you're using too much bleach or something. He just fades his colors out, man.
Like that old shirt you have that has a good symbol on it, but it's got a little faded, but you still wear it anyway.
Right, and it's like, Zach, we get it, man. Certain characters can be dark like that. With Superman, you can't really do that with, because there's no contrast between him and this dark world you've built. Like Superman should be the opposite of Batman in every way. But he's almost like Batman, you know what I'm saying, in more ways than one. They look similar for starters, but other than that, it's like I don't know where he stands and where Batman stands. You know what I'm saying? I need to know there needs to be a line between those two.
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't like the new Batman suit at all.
I haven't liked them in a while.
I think I hate it, actually. I think this is the worst Batman suit I've ever seen. I
liked his BVS suit. I don't care for this one. With the goggles and stuff, I don't.
My biggest problem with these movies is how they do Batman. Like when Batman had the little fucking gun and he's going, spraying everybody. I'm like, there's not a more creative way he can take these dudes out. He has to grab their weapon and use it against them.
Yeah, because you think anyone with military training can do that job. Like, you don't necessarily need Batman at that point. Like, Batman would have his gadgets. He doesn't need to steal a gun from them. He would have something prepared for this. Like, that would show his ingenuity. Like, wow, you knew that parademons were going to fly around and do this? Like, you had
You
something
only saw
for that.
one Batarang this whole movie.
You ain't lying, man. It's like they don't do Batman justice a lot of times. They've made him angry and they stop there. You know what I mean? Now, other than that, I feel like Ben Affleck's a decent Batman.
Yeah, everyone likes to critique him, but I had no issues with him, other than the voice. I don't like that voice.
But
it sounds like he's always like, he almost sounds sick. Like he's got something stuck in his throat or something.
Yeah, it's been like that since Nolan took over. He introduced that element, and somebody somewhere said, we like that, man. That makes sense to us. And for me, I'm like,
because it shows his transformation.
Batman. See, here's the thing: Batman is like James Bond with a bat suit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a guy that you would want to get a beer with. Like, he's suave. He's rich. He's like. He comes out at night. That's the only association with the Batman motif that there is.
I noticed in this movie, though, they kind of tried to borrow from the Avengers with, like, how they made characters. Like, for example, Flash was just Spider-Man. Like, they tried to make him the young guy who's quirky, who has the little, one-liners. And
he felt like a Marvel character. I felt like that was not Whedon's work, but I felt like there were some influences there. Like, they needed him to be funny. I said, "Oh, the Marvel characters are funny. Let's go ahead and borrow from them and make."
See, what they need to realize is, like, Justice League's characters are unique in their own way. Like, the DC Universe's characters are unique in their own way. That's the reason, some people like it better than Marvel. It's because their characters are different. So don't borrow from Marvel to try to make your characters like a Marvel character.
Exactly. But can you hear ringing in the background? I think my alarm's going.
Yeah, it's coming from your end.
Hold on, let me go take care of that. I'll be back. 1 second, guys.
All right. But yeah, I liked the movie overall. It was not bad. Kept me mostly entertained. I had issues with the ending sequence. It kind of got a little messy towards the end there, but what do you think about the ending sequence? Like, did you think it got a little messy towards the end? Because, like, the beginning of the movie felt a lot more polished than the end of the movie.
The end is when they started cramming things down your throat. That's when they started. The nightmare sequence came back, and they said, you liked this the first time. You're getting it again. The too many guys were introduced. The Lex Luthor stuff was interesting because where has he been? Like, it shows you where they've been and stuff like that in the epilogues. They're setting up, honestly, for the future of the series and the franchise.
Oh yeah, they got to have their big battle against Darkseid.
But look how much smoother Marvel did it. They didn't cram 5 different endings that could have been in 5 subsequent movies in one movie.
Oh, but they definitely ruffled some feathers.
I mean, they might have, but look at it like this though. Marvel did the teasers at the end of the movies. It was always one thing that you focused on. It was one item. It was one character. They introduced Deathstroke, like Lex Luthor, the Nightmare sequence, all these people, like all these different elements, and it was like Martian Manhunter.
If we're gonna move into the epilogue, obviously we know that the Justice League takes out Steppenwolf, but those little 3 boxes things, was that something just made up, or is that something from the comics?
That's from the comics. The mother boxes, yeah. I don't remember them being like world-ending things. I thought the mother boxes, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but they're comic related.
But I mean, I didn't have an issue with those. It was like, okay, so this is what they're after. It was a good centerpiece for it, but like the ending sequence got messy to me, man. Like the battle sequences kind of looked like crap to me. Like, even my wife commented, she's like, you can tell that they don't do as good a job on these battles as Marvel does with the Avengers. And
I
I'm
don't
like,
know if that's a Zack
eh.
Snyder thing. I don't know if he frames them in that way to where it's like basically
It was too much slow motion.
slow motion. It's just too much going on, man. You just got to clear it up and trust the audience to follow the action. You don't have to add so much special effects and add so many
So when Superman had him down and he was just pummeling him, like he still went punch after punch after punch. Was he pulling his punches? Because he had him down there punching him for a long time, and
That's
a lot was going on around.
That's the tricky thing with Superman. Is like he can be weaker in some scenes and he can be stronger in others, just depending on the writer. Like there's no definitive way to measure if he's pulling punches or not, because you would think that him going full on would kill him because he's Superman, but he didn't. So you'd have to assume how strong is Superman then, and it kind of wanes between just what they plan on doing, just the writers, just what mood they're in.
Maybe he was saving him for Batman. He gets no glory in this movie, really. So that honestly, that was my thought with this movie. Is like all these other characters, they had their cool stuff and their cool things that they were doing, but Batman was just an afterthought in this movie.
You know something? In the original version in theaters, when I saw this, a lot of people said Ben Affleck looks tired, man. He looks like he don't want to be there. It's like there was so much he was supposed to do with this character, and after BVS, he realized they don't know what they're doing. So I'm not going to put my talent and my time and energy into something they don't even know what they want to do. They have multiple Jokers, which doesn't make any sense. Everyone's pissed right now. Your direction is all over the place, and so you can tell he's worn out. He doesn't want to do this anymore.
Let's talk about that Joker.
You want to
get right? Yes, absolutely.
Go ahead.
I want to know if you like. Did you like it? Did you hate it?
I don't care for it, man. I think that's my thought was like.
Me neither.
I didn't jump up and say, "Oh man, he's in there." No, I was like, okay, I guess I was like, he's kind of okay, but my whole issue was basically, I just don't see him being as intimidating or special or funny or none of that.
So which fucking Joker is this? Is this the Jared Leto Joker from Suicide Squad, or is this the one from the Joker movie?
No, this is definitely Jared Leto.
Then why does he look so different?
Yeah, why the freak does he have? See, doesn't make sense. His Joker had a clean look. Like his Joker didn't have the makeup smeared across his face like Heath Ledger Joker.
And he had the bullet teeth.
Yeah, like what's going on with this? Because he was clean, and here's my thing: is he's got the shaggy hair look, right, indicating that he hasn't had a haircut and washed up in a while. Why doesn't he grow a beard? Is that because it would look stupid if he had a green beard? So they all like he had a clean shave and everything. Where'd you get that from? You didn't get a haircut, but you can shave your face somehow.
My problem with the Joker, the way they presented him in this movie, is he seemed more like something you would see in a horror movie, and not really what you would see in a superhero movie.
Their Joker is definitely different, but I don't like it. Like it's like I don't know what you're going for with him. Like there's such a question mark over.
It's like, hey,
Joker.
Let's combine the Joker movie. Who was it? Who played him again? Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah. Let's combine him. Let's combine Heath Ledger's Joker, and let's combine Jared Leto's Joker all into one and make a new one. Because Lord knows we need a new Joker.
Yeah, I felt like they mixed all those Jokers together, but it's just again, it goes to them not really knowing what they want to do with him. He just doesn't have enough screen time. He hasn't really been built up.
Was that other dude behind them Deathstroke without his mask on? Is that who that was?
Yeah, that's Deathstroke.
Okay, so this doesn't make any fucking sense to me. We see the scene with Lex Luthor, obviously not in Arkham Asylum, and he's on his boat, he's living it up, and Deathstroke comes to him and he's like, hey, I got a proposition for you, whatever. And Deathstroke's like, okay, cool, I'm in. And then in the very next scene, we see him teaming up with Batman. I'm fucking so confused.
Because that's the nightmare sequence to where something has happened to where Batman has to work with all these misfits, where it's such a weird combination of teams that something so bad has happened that Batman has to actually side with the Joker and Deathstroke.
Batman had an assault rifle.
Yeah, see, that's some Zack Snyderisms. That's when we start to, we start giving Batman guns, even though he has a clear rule not to use guns. When Superman is using heat vision on guys.
And the Joker addressed his rule. That's what doesn't make sense. He's like, oh, you can't kill me because of your rule. I'm like, well, he's holding a gun now, so obviously he's breaking those rules.
Yeah, so it's again, Zack Snyder does not care for characterization. He never really has. It's more like he just goes with story. He goes with effect. He goes with like, wouldn't it be cool to see Batman with a gun because we've never seen him with a gun before? That's like his thought process. That's as far as it goes. It's never like Batman has these rules because he has to follow. No, because he doesn't care. They change so frequently because there's no characterization. It's just all imagery and effect with Zack Snyder.
That would be like, wouldn't it be cool if Wolverine started using a sword? It's like,
it's funny because that's happened before.
Yeah, he's got fucking knife hands. Why does he need a sword for?
Oh, it's happened. But I've always thought the same thing. It's like Batman is just the Punisher at this point when you start doing stuff like that. You have to make him different. But this is Nightmare sequence, which they need to stop that. They need to go ahead and save that for like, let us catch up so we can understand what we're looking at. Because you just said it yourself. It's confusing that we saw Deathstroke with Lex Luthor. Then in the next scene, he's with Batman.
Yeah, that sequence confused me. I had no idea what was going on.
And it's just them overstuffing everything, man. They need to just chill out and just trust that the world's not going to blow up tomorrow. We don't have to bum rush all this stuff into one sitting. You can kind of space it out over a couple of years like Marvel did. But let me ask you something, since you've been asking me.
I'm ready.
Did you care about Martian Manhunter? Did you jump out your seat and start doing cartwheels?
No.
Bro, they swore.
And you know what? I don't think Batman cared about him neither.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He came out.
He's like, dude, I was trying to get some fucking rest.
Yeah,
and
he's in his pajamas
on my doorstep.
Yeah. Like, bro, he was like, what is wrong with you? Like, you couldn't have done this any other time? I'll come and find you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
look, I know you're out there, okay? When I need you, I'll call on you.
Yeah, Batman was like, yeah, we didn't even. I knew about you. Slow down. There's a reason I didn't come for you. I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got our team. This man couldn't wait to be in a Justice League movie.
It's like, do you want to know my name? It's like, not really. I mean,
yeah, he said, by the way, my name is Martian Manhunter. By the way, we don't really care, honestly.
I didn't fucking ask.
Bro, that scene tripped me out because I did not care when I didn't see. You got to build that stuff up, man. And maybe there's some Martian Manhunter marks out there, but we don't know them, and we aren't them. So, let them get happy, I guess. But we didn't know. We didn't care. He showed up to him in his bedroom.
Yeah, and that other chick, the one that beat up Johnny Depp or whatever. What was her name?
Amber Heard. I like that's her. Like, that's how we know her. It's the girl who beat up Johnny Depp.
Well, why was she there with Ben Affleck? She was the last character I cared to see there.
So I don't know, it's that nightmare sequence, man. We don't know. There's no answers, Greg. You know as much as I know.
So basically, what you're telling me is in the future that scene is going to mean absolutely nothing.
It might mean everything. We don't know. This is some. It looked cool. That's as far as Zack Snyder's thinking goes, man. It's like if you're looking for deeper thoughts, you've gone to the wrong tree. It's like he only thinks of, does it look cool, and that's it. There's nothing else to follow with Zack Snyder's visions. This
didn't do much to put me back in the mood to watch more superhero movies. I'm gonna say that. You know what's funny? I said I liked it, but at the same time, I like.
No, you're right. It was good, but it's too late. That's how I feel.
I don't really know if it was good or if it was just entertaining.
It was passable. It was entertaining.
I mean, I watched it for 4 fucking hours, so it must have been
doing
somewhat
something
entertaining.
Right. Yeah, it's been doing something right. But it's like it was like, okay, you did that. That's great. I watched it, enjoyed it, but I don't. It's like the whole buzz from that is gone. It's left me. Where they go from here, who knows?
I just finished this movie the other day, and already I'm finding it hard to remember things about it.
Would you rewatch it? That's my criteria for if a movie is good. Do I rewatch it?
If I caught it
All
on
4 hours.
if it came on TNT and something like that, and I'm like doing something else, like say I'm cleaning or whatever, and it's on in the background, I'd look at it and watch it and pay attention to it that way. Would I sit and get me some popcorn and sit back, relax, and throw it? No, I wouldn't watch it like that again.
It's interesting you say that because none of the DCEU movies I've ever watched again.
But honestly, I felt the same way about the Avengers, honestly.
No, Avengers was different because that was like you had to see it. I didn't have to see this. I may not have to rewatch the Avengers, but I always remembered it. You know what I'm saying? I always remembered that movie and how it made me feel, and it was always positive. The DCEU movies have not to this point made me want to rewatch it. Just like you said, kick back and watch it with popcorn and enjoy it and smile. But I will say that the Dark Knight trilogy, going back and seeing that, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight respectively, I did rewatch those, and it reminded me of how good those movies were. And like what masterpieces, especially Batman Begins. Batman Begins is 10 times better than you remembered it. After you watch this and you go back, it's like a pitch perfect movie. And DC has not produced anything like that since.
Really?
Really.
I think my camera cut out on me here, so you're gonna get my avatar for a minute.
Well, I'm about to call it a night, sir.
That's true. You do have to go to work. So, in closing here, Justice League, Zack Snyder cut. Do you recommend it?
I recommend it. You need to see it. It's too big an event to skip out on.
And I think you mentioned you think in a future episode you want to talk about a couple horror movies, since me and you are a big fan of horror movies.
Yes, we do have some things planned. So we do. This was a good coming back party, a little thing coming back, reunion. But we do have future stuff planned.
You said The Wailing was one you wanted to talk about, and also Found, correct?
Found, yes.
So one of those two we'll talk about here coming soon. But we're glad to be back.
Yes.
And we'll definitely come with some more content in the future. So until next time.
Slack off.